BMAX Audio Adventure, BJJ365. Man, I've got a serious treat for you guys today. It's my coach, Eddie Bravo, going off. He goes off hard on the mindset of a competitor, and he gives us a little background into what it was like as he was coming up the ranks and how he used to think as a competitor. And then he goes off for real on cardio and preparing your cardio as a competitor. This one's a can't miss. It's a rip off of a Facebook Live that I did with him. And look, the audio quality is going to deteriorate a couple of times. Don't get distracted by that. Stay with it, right? I'm going to piece it together. I'm going to do my best to make sure that it sounds great. This one's going to be a little longer than usual because you know Eddie is not short-winded. But I'm telling you, there is some straight up jiu-jitsu gold in this thing. I hope you guys love it. Don't forget to check out my website, www.brandonmc.ninja. And don't forget, I just released my new rubber guard DVD. It's at bjjfanatics.com. Links in the description of this podcast. Guys, enjoy Eddie Bravo.
Yo, 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 yo.
We got a miracle. All right, now how do I rip this? I don't know how I'm going to be able to do it, but I'll figure that part out. It shouldn't be that hard.
Are you sure you'll be able to? Is this going to be a waste of time?
Well, you know what? Even if we aren't able to, we'll have a pleasurable and happy moment together with all our friends here.
All right. All right.
I'll be able to figure it out. Because like you can screen record off Facebook videos, right? I'm always able to
screen record. Yeah, I'm sure. But sometimes you can't record, the audio don't come out. But if you got some nerd on it, you know, I'm sure they'll figure it out.
I think I'm nerdy enough to figure it out. And if I'm not, I'm no nerd.
Are you that good? Come on, man. Come on, man.
All right, man. So, all right, here's the situation. I got my new podcast cracking. And what I've been doing is I've been going live, or not live, but I've been recording one every morning, just like 5 minutes to 15 or 20 minutes. And I'm going to try to get rid of the comments. If you guys have got questions, you can post them. We'll get to them at the end. What's up, Applegate? I got to swipe those comments out of the way. They distract me, man. But
really?
Yeah, I can't.
Some guy named John Hammer says I'm already recording it. So you know who John Hammer is? Hammer?
Yeah, he's on my website and stuff. So he's one of my people.
Remember that name. I'll send it to BMAC later. John Hamner. Okay, we're good.
Thanks, John. You're the man, dude. So what I've been doing with the podcast is just getting on every morning, just talk like rambling or giving a jiu-jitsu tip for like 10 or 15 minutes. So rather than doing like the long form, like Joe Rogan style interview, which everybody just copies Joe, right? What I've been trying to do is like, just if you're a jiu-jitsu nerd, I want to just give you like some value for your drive to work. You know what I mean? So what I want to do with you is just give us either like a training tip of some sort or something about competition mindset, something that you think is really important, maybe that people in the jiu-jitsu community are missing. Your call, man. And then as you start going, I'll kind of poke and prod and steer you where I want you to go.
That's a broad question, man.
All right, well then let's go with tell me about, I guess, let's do this. What was it like when you were competing actively, especially like in your brown belt days when you were leading up to Abu Dhabi? What did you do like for your mindset, like leading into the tournaments? Like what was that like? What were you trying, like would you have a certain routine that you went through before you jumped out there and competed? Maybe something like that.
Well, at the blue belt level, at the purple belt level, and at the brown belt level, there was always a stage where, the beginning stage, where I would freeze out there and I wouldn't perform like I thought I could. I was too cautious, too nervous. You know, as a actually at the blue belt level, I didn't really have that problem because you really don't have anything to lose.
There's no pressure.
You know? Yeah, there really isn't that much pressure at the blue belt level. But when I got my blue belt, my purple belt, then all of a sudden the pressure hit. And back then it was like like 98 or something when I got my purple belt, and maybe something like that. And those first few matches, I would say there's about 10 matches where I didn't do anything. I would pull half guard and I was too nervous to commit to anything. And in the gym, I'd pull half guard and attack and usually go for old school, get on top, pass the guard, put them in the truck. But in competition, I would freeze and I couldn't get past that. I would just be too nervous. And I'd videotape my matches. And I remember showing people, being all proud that I did jiu-jitsu, and I'd show people my matches on VHS, and I had to fast forward through everything because they just wouldn't get that I was in half guard, waiting to the last 30 seconds to sweep them, because I didn't want to give my opponent an opportunity to sweep me back. So I wanted to get that sweep with like playing football. You want to get that field goal with like 3 seconds left. So because I had terrible top game back then. So that was the plan. And I even when I would win at purple, I looked like shit, and it looked horrible on video, and it was boring as hell for people that didn't understand the game. And then one time I was purple belt, and this is where it all changed for me. I had my girlfriend come at the time, and she was videotaping my match, and I froze up again. The first 80% of the match didn't do shit, just froze up. He got a couple points on me, and then I literally snapped out of it. And this has happened to me a couple times in matches where I snap out of it, where all the fear goes, and I just decide to go for it, and I did. And I put the guy on my guard, went after, had him in arm bar, switched to triangles. I was attacking the shit out of him. Didn't get any points for it, and lost because I couldn't pull it off. It was too little, too late. But I realized that, what made me snap was thinking, I'm in the middle of the match, not doing anything, thinking about how horrible this match is going to look on video, and how embarrassed my girlfriend must feel right now, videotaping me looking like shit. Meanwhile, every night she hears me talking about jiu-jitsu and going off on it and talking about all these moves and all this stuff. And she's videotaping. And she's like, I don't see shit. I'm just like sitting there in half guard, not doing anything. So I snapped because she was watching, she was videotaping, and I was thinking about how horrible the video would look. And I went after it, but it was too little too late. And then from that point on, that really put a fire into my ass to really attack. So from that point on, I just told myself just to go to attack. I would say that over and over to myself. I'd keep it nice and simple. Just attack. And then I started burning through people at purple belt, started doing really good and getting twisters like on the regular, sweeping most of my opponents. I was doing really good at purple belt after that. And started really enjoying playing back the videos and realizing, man,
make you want to throw up anymore.
yeah. I wasn't fast forwarding through everything like I was before, and that really did it. And this is really about getting to the point where you don't freeze up and you just attack. So I had a pretty good second half of my purple belt, and then when I got my brown belt, I just kept telling myself right before the match, attack, watch your feet. Attack, watch your feet. So as long as that was like my mantra as I was competing, as I was, back at when I used to wrestle in high school. I was terrible. I was a terrible wrestler. I wrestled in 9th grade, and I was terrible. I got like one takedown in 2 years. I wrestled 2 years and got one takedown. I'd like to just sprawl and crossface and put people in twisters, which is the wrestler's guillotine. That's all I did. I just wanted people to shoot so I could sprawl. I was afraid I was going to smash my face in someone's knee, and like people were losing their teeth and breaking open their eyebrows. I was afraid. So I was a terrible wrestler, but I had my spot, 119 pounds, and I was going, and it was time for, I had an okay season, twisted a few people. And then I was going into the county finals, CIF county finals. But the guy above me on my team, he wanted to lose weight and drop a weight category for these CIF finals. And I was really worried about that because the guy always beats my ass in practice. You know, I'd have some good roles with him, but he was better than me. He was bigger than me. And now he wanted to lose weight and take my spot. And, you know, boom, that whole season goes down the drain because this guy wants my spot. So I was really nervous about that. We were going to have a little wrestle off before the tournament. And I was just had no confidence at all. And we had the wrestle off and he beat my ass. He took my spot and that was it. You know, I thought, man, there goes CIF finals. You know, it's like the county, all the high schools competing against each other. But at the last minute, coach comes up to me and says, hey, we need a couple alternates. Can you make weight? I said, hell yeah. So I went in as an alternate. And the day of the tournament, they said, hey, you're in. We had a couple no-shows. I'm like, oh, damn, I'm in. So it was a double elimination. And I was in a shitty high school, in Santa Ana High, you know, as a Mexican high school. We didn't have a great wrestling team. All the good wrestling teams were in the white neighborhoods, like Canyon High School, like in the Anaheim Hills, Villa Park. Those rich white people, they wrestled year round. They shipped their kids off to Iowa for wrestling camps, like in the summer. No, seriously, they wrestled year round. And they went to Iowa to wrestle.
That's because they wouldn't let us play on the basketball team. We wanted to play basketball, but we wrestle instead.
White people love Iowa. So we knew that they were the best. They were killing everybody. So at Canyon High School was the CIF. And my first guy was from Villa Park, some white guy. And he was beating my ass, but I almost had him in a twister. I had him, and I pulled his arm over my head, and we fell out of bounds. And it was just too little too late. I almost had him, so I lost that match. But it was double elimination, so I had one more match. It was against a guy from Santa Ana Valley, which that was another part Mexican, part black school, so I felt a little confidence. So I couldn't lose this next one. I had to win. And there was 15 seconds left. He was winning 2-0, and we were top bottom, and I was in the bottom. And you know the top guy has his arm around your waist, like into your belly. So my assistant wrestling coach, he had this one move where he would just grab your arm and pull you in like I forget what it's called, but it's just like an arm drag throw from that position. And that was his money move, and he showed it to me. And there's 15 seconds left, and the guy's coaches, my opponent's coaches, are saying, all you got to do is hold him. You got this in the bag. 15 seconds, just hold him. This is probably one of my glorious moments of all time. I looked, it was like a movie. I looked at my coach. He was the assistant coach, and he gave me like a little wink. And he goes, you know the move, let's do it. So I did it. I basically just held on to his arm, flipped him over, pinned him within 15 seconds, and I won. And it was like one of the most glorious moments of my life. I just felt like an animal. I was screaming. I was like so excited.
It was like the end of Rudy. You're like a Mexican Rudy.
Yeah, and so I was still alive in the tournament. Well, the next guy in the bracket was my teammate, the guy that beat my ass for the spot. So I had so much confidence. I just came off a win. I felt like a fucking animal. So I went into that match with a whole different mindset, and I'll never forget this ever. I think I probably talked about this on my podcast a couple times, those old Eddie Bravo radios. But I went into that match literally like an animal. Like I told myself I'm going to be an animal. I was wrestling with him, and I was making animal noise. Like I was like, I just exploded because I was coming off such a high. I felt unbeatable, and I beat his ass. And my coaches were like, how come you didn't do that yesterday? I'm like, I don't know. I was just too scared. And from that point, and then the next match, I went against a guy from Canyon High. And he was this tall white kid. He beat me 15-2, just spanked me. But I'll never forget that match against my own teammate, a guy that I was scared of. And just because I had a crazy win, I had this adrenaline going, and I had this confidence going, and that's what beat them. And I always try to always remember that it, when people say, sports is 100% mental or whatever, or 90% mental, I understood that then. That's when I understood, like, man, it all depends on your confidence. And Jean-Jacques has always said that. He says the two most important things when you're competing are confidence and cardio. And I get it now. I never really got cardio that much before because I was like, like cardio, I train hard. I'm just going to go out there. I never really gassed that much when I competed because I trained so much jiu-jitsu. I never understood. I never really got at that high level. But, when I competed in Metamoris, that was when I first understood what cardio really was.
Yeah, that's when you did the swim sprints, right? So tell everybody about the routine.
Yeah, well, there was about 7 weeks left before my Metamoris match, and I wasn't really doing any cardio. I was just doing a lot of jiu-jitsu and lifting weights. And I thought, I don't have the greatest work ethic when it comes to cardio. I'm not like Tony Ferguson. I'm lazy.
Same here.
I've always been lazy. Just, it's really hard to do that. Andre Galvao, Rafa Mendes, Cobrina, how they're shredded and their diet is on point. My diet always sucked. And, it was like 7 weeks out. And I remember driving around. I'd committed to saying, you know what? I think I can roll 20 minutes. You know what I mean? It's just one match. It's not a tournament. It's just 20 minutes. I roll an hour every day. What's 20 minutes? I don't need to do cardio. That's what I convinced myself. It's just one match. Come on. I rolled fucking an hour all the time. But I called up Einstein and I said, Einstein, fuck. I think, God damn it. I knew that if I didn't do cardio, I didn't do the right cardio, that would be fucking with me and that would fuck with my confidence. And I felt, you know what? If I should it's only 7 weeks. Why don't I just train like an Olympian for 7 weeks and just go into this match knowing that I did all I could. And then that way I wouldn't have this little demon in the back of my head. Just, I didn't want to worry about gassing out. That's the whole thing. People, if you don't do proper cardio, you're in a high level match, you're going to constantly have that in your head.
Well, you know what, man? What you were saying about Jean-Jacques, he said it's confidence and cardio, right?
Yeah.
But that cardio gives the confidence.
Exactly.
Like if you had not tried to kill yourself with those swim sprints all the time, you would have known in the back of your mind, you'd have known in your heart, I didn't really do everything I could have done.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. The cardio gives you the confidence. And I learned that. I didn't know what cardio was. I had no idea I thought cardio, even to that day, I was 43 at the time. And I thought cardio was how long can you roll really hard for? And at that point I was rolling really hard. I would get tired at maybe the 13-minute mark or the 11-minute mark. And, I was testing my cardio by just rolling really hard and then until I completely got exhausted. And to me, that was my cardio. I have 13 minutes of cardio. I have 15 minutes of cardio. Not even factoring in the pressure of a big match, the lights and all that. That immediately saps out 50% of your cardio. I wasn't factoring in that because when I roll in the gym, the pressure's not there. So it's a false sense of security that, you could roll for an hour straight in a gym. You think you have cardio, but you don't have cardio. You don't have cardio until the pressure's really, really on and you're going with high level dudes. And that's where you test your cardio. Well, anyways, I decided, you know what, let me do the right thing. And Einstein's, he's a personal trainer. So I called him up and I said, listen, I'm going to do some cardio. What do you think I should do? Just get on a bike? I don't want to run because I hate running. What do you think I should do? I go, I like swimming. Should I do swimming? And he goes, dude, it doesn't matter what you do. He goes, it doesn't matter what you are. He goes, why don't you just go to a pool, go to 24-hour fitness, go to a pool and doggy paddle as hard as you can, just in one spot for, 30 seconds and then rest for another 30 seconds. And then doggy paddle for 30 seconds and then rest for 30 seconds. And you do that a bunch. And I said, really? That's it? I didn't really get it. And he goes, yeah, you just got to get really tired and then you rest for a little bit. Then you get really tired. And then I'm like, okay. So then I just drove to the gym, looked at the pool, and there was a big clock by the pool. And I just thought, you know what? Let me sprint across the pool and see how long that takes. So I sprinted across the pool, and it took about 25 seconds. So I said, okay, so I'll sprint across the pool, and then every time that hand hits the 12, because that's when I sprinted. Right when it hit that hand, there was a big clock. And every time that hand hit the 12, I just sprinted across the pool, and whatever time was left in that minute, I would rest. So as soon as the hand would hit 12 again, then I would sprint across to the other side. And it was like, it was about 25 seconds. And then I decided, you know what, since it's 20 minutes, I don't know. Let's do it 20 times. I didn't know if that was way too much or way too little. I didn't know. I just thought 20 minutes, 20 sprints, that's good for me. I kept it real simple. I really didn't think about it too much. But the one thing I realized is the great thing about, there's two awesome things about doing swim sprints like that and doing it 20 times, is that if you just doggy paddle, or you just get on a bike, or you just like run in place or whatever, you need someone to push you to make sure you're going 100%, because you could just kind of coast, sort of sprint coast. But when you're in a pool, your rest time is determined by how quick you got to the other side.
Yeah.
So you don't need anybody to push you, because you can't stop. And if you slow down, that takes away your rest time. So it's like a big mind fuck. You're like sprinting so that you can rest. Nobody needs to tell you to sprint. Plus, your breathing has to be on point, because
I bet that was a huge factor. I bet that's a huge factor.
Yeah, because at the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th lap, you want to quit, and you're dying out in the pool, and you're like almost drowning, and it's so chaotic in your head. You're like panicking, trying to get to the other side so that you don't drown. Yet, with all that panic and chaos going on, your breathing has to be perfect. It can't change. It can't even waver. You can't breathe all fucked up until you get to the end of the pool, and then you could start breathing like you're dying while you're holding on to the edge of the pool, looking at the clock, going, "Oh man, I got 20 seconds to rest. I'm dead. And then, when that clock hits 12, you got to go.
You go whether you can or can't, you got to go.
You got to go. So and I did that once a week. And I went from doing Shark Tanks at John Jocks. He would Shark Tank me for an hour, and I would just be completely dead within 20 minutes. I was just I was just surviving. And me knowing that I was going to die in 20 seconds affected how I did the Shark Tank. John Jock would have 10 guys in line, all black belts: Sean Bollinger, Jeremy Fields, Rick Marshall. I just had black belt after black belt. Even Karan Darabedian jumped in, fucked me up, leg locked the shit out of me. I was just rolling to survive in the beginning. I was fucking dying the first couple weeks of training camp. I was just dead. And then at the end of training, or the end of the day, John Jock would do that Brazilian thing where they put a gi over your head and you have to breathe through the gi. And you're kind of getting waterboarded.
Yeah.
And that was torture. I had no gas. I had no cardio. And yet, it wasn't like I had stopped training for 6 months and I don't have cardio. I had no cardio, and I had been training I'd never stopped training. I was coming off just training like I always do. Yet I was training hard 4 days a week. That wasn't enough to get me through an hour Shark Tank the way Jean-Jacques was putting me through. So what happened, at the 4th or 5th week of doing those swim sprints, I began to realize, wow, I could be dead as fuck, and that hands on the 8 o'clock and then the 9 o'clock and then the 10 o'clock mark, dead. But
he froze up. Well, in the meantime, maybe he'll catch back up. That's some sad times right there. He was right in the middle of it. In the meantime, I'll try to slide back through some of these comments. There's been a trillion of them. It's been pretty cool. G suffocation. Yeah, for real. Oh, hey, what's up, Coach? I don't know if you can hear me. I'll kick him out. You're out of here, Bravo. Now let me see if I can bring him back in. He might have gotten a phone call or something like that. But anyway, that might be John Buck said the Illuminati shut him down. We'll bring him back on sometime. I hope you guys enjoyed that. He was enjoying it. He was ready to tell it like it was. What's up, Josh LeDuc, Rob Henderson, everybody? Man, I appreciate all you guys joining in. We tried to do this on Instagram Live. I think it would have been a dang hit. What's up, Nelson? Would have been a hit on Instagram Live, but I don't, I don't know how to do it, you know? It kept saying unable to join on his end. Let me see if I can find him. Yeah, I don't think he's on here anymore. Yeah. Oh, well. Well, guys, you can go back and check it out. And listen, I'm going to take this audio and upload it to, what's up, Gustavo, JD, Rob, Angelina Press. Oh, what's up, Gary, Frank, Neil. I'm going to bring him. I'm going to take this audio and put it up on my podcast, which you can get. It's called BMAX Audio Adventure. I'm doing one every morning. It's just stuff like this. You know, it's usually me, but I'm bringing other people on, talking about, you know, their training tips, how they like to get it done. I talk about, you know, it could be just posture. Sometimes I'm just going 10, 15 minutes, but they're little short podcasts. They're not the long, you know, Joe Rogan style, 2.5 day conversation. So I'm going to upload this onto my, what's up, Zeke? Upload this onto my podcast, and you guys can check it out. Eddie, let me see if I can bring it back on. Bring Eddie on camera. Shoot. I think we got it. What is that? I don't know if y'all can see that picture, but it's fabulous. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to bring him back on. Alex Weaver, your website's been dope. Thanks for everything you do, directing my students and quoting you way too often, working in my southern accent. Thank you, Alex. I really appreciate that. For those of you that don't know, I have a website. It's brandonmc.ninja, www.brandonmc.ninja. You guys can check it out anytime you want. It's $5 a month. That ain't too bad. Eddie, you may have to request to join again. Or if you'll make a comment, I think I can add you again. All right, here we go. Bring it. Fingers crossed. In the meantime, everybody.
What about now?
Hey!
There we go.
Let's see. Let me see. Okay, that's it. Is there a share function down here? Guys, if you have a share function on your side, definitely do that. That helps. It probably don't help Eddie. He's trying to get people to stop watching his social media. Like he wants people to leave him alone, I'm sure. But not me. I'm trying to get everybody to love me and watch my stuff. I need the attention, you know. I'm trying to get them to buy www.brandonmc.ninja, coach. They need to be signing up for my website, you know. If you're ready to continue, we got.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Can you hear me?
You know what? I can hear you like from like a minute ago also on my phone. I don't know why. You're like I hear like a delay.
You want to
Okay, listen. I'm going to I think I may have try me again. I'm going to turn that off really quick, whatever that is.
All right. Facebook didn't want Eddie to join. Look into it. Shared. Hey, Alan Michael, where is the share function? Like, I don't see it on the bottom. Maybe it's because I'm the one live. What's up? Man, my man D Rich is here. What's up, D Rich? Nalo. Let's see here.
There we go. Okay.
Is that better?
Now?
Yeah, it's a little. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Now it's connected.
Okay. So let me finish what I was saying.
Yeah. No.
So I went from the first part of my camp just dying with those hour Shark Tanks to doing, once a week on Wednesdays, I would go do my swim sprints. And I started noticing some weird things. I noticed that I didn't know what cardio was. And now I know what cardio is. Cardio is training your body to recover quickly from complete exhaustion. And the only way you can recover from complete exhaustion is you have to train your body that way. You have, just like drilling an arm bar, just like drilling back takes, drilling leg locks, you got to train your body to recover. You got to keep telling your body, I need to recover from complete exhaustion in 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, whatever it is. If you do it enough, you sprint to complete exhaustion, and then you have to sprint again in 30, 35 seconds. So after you do that a bunch, your body goes down. We got to start recovering quicker. So within 4 or 5 weeks, your body gets the message. And the message is, I need to blow out all my energy. I need to sprint for like around 30 seconds, and I need to recover in around 30 seconds. You do it enough times, and your body will recover. It will. Otherwise, if you don't do that, when you get to complete exhaustion, you will be done, because you didn't train your body to recover. So when you're completely exhausted, you're completely done. And mentally, you're going to be done even more. You're going to that you're done, and some animal is on you. He's not done. You're done. He smells blood. You ain't going to recover. You didn't train your body to recover. That's what cardio is. And I never understood. I thought cardio was like jogging. Oh, I'm going to go jog for 5 miles. That's cardio. I could jog for 5 miles. That's not cardio. That's not cardio.
It's true.
Cardio is being able to go after someone with complete abandon, and going after them and just completely giving everything you have with whatever transition, technique, setup, whatever you want. Go after them, because you know that you're going to be tired for 30 seconds. You're going to be completely exhausted, but you're going to recover. And why? Because you trained your body that way. So what ended up happening was, by the end of the camp, at first when I would get completely exhausted and rolling, to me, that was the end. Okay, this is it. I'm fucking done. I need to take this next round off. I need at least, if you don't train your body to recover in 30 seconds, your body needs 5 minutes. That's like the default setting for your average athletic person.
Yeah.
If you're athletic,
I need like
you're
5
not really
days.
but you're not doing cardio, and you're athletic. Once you get that complete exhaustion, once you're completely exhausted, you're going to need 5 minutes. You're going to skip the next round. That's what I did. Or you fucking find some girl to roll with. It's 112 pounds. And then you recover with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you do that in competition, where you get to the point, it's a 20-minute match, and at the 12-minute mark, you hit complete exhaustion, you're done, son. You lost. He's going to smell it, and you're done. And you need 5 minutes to recover. He's not going to give you 5 minutes to recover. He's going to come after you. You're not even going to get your 5 minutes. You're going to get tapped out. You're going to get smoked. Because you can't recover. So when I would roll and I would get completely exhausted, in my brain, I was done. I'm done. That's it. I need 5 to 10 minutes. I'm done. It's over. And then, so you panic. So you get exhausted, and you're like, oh my God, you start, you get scared. Oh my God, it's over. I don't have any more energy. They're done, and there's still 8 minutes to go. He's going to get me. And then you get worse. It gets worse. So what ends up happening is, once you do these sprints, and it doesn't have to be swim sprints. You could do running sprints. You could do anything. Just like Einstein said, it could be doggy paddles,
whatever.
The reason I like swim sprints is I don't like to run, and I love the fact that it forced you to keep your breathing perfect, the rhythm. So you have this chaos going on, but you're like a ninja. with your breath. Your ninja, no matter what, your breath can't change. So when you're running in sprints, your breath can change. There's nothing, you'd have to focus on your breathing. In swimming, you don't have to focus on your breathing. It focuses itself because you will drown or you will swallow water. So that was the beauty of it. And the way I did it too is you could do them by yourself. You don't need anybody to push you because you're pushing yourself to get to the other side so that you have enough time to rest. Because if it takes you a minute to get across the pool because you're so exhausted, you don't have any rest time. You got to keep going. So it just fucks up the whole routine. The 20 sprints is exactly 20 minutes. It's exactly 20 minutes. Every time the clock hits the 12, you got to go. So if you get across in 20 seconds, 25 seconds, 30 seconds, you have the rest of that minute to rest. So you want to go as fast as possible. Nobody has to yell at you to sprint. So what was happening is, as my cardio started growing, I would get exhausted and then freak out like, okay, it's over. But then I would recover, and then I go, wait a minute, I recovered. I feel fine. I can keep going. And I go, that's right, it's working. Oh my God. So then the next time I would get really tired and rolling. I go, okay, I'm done. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I just recovered. Oh my God, I recovered. That's right, I'm doing cardio. It's working. And then because you're so used to throwing in the towel when you're completely exhausted, when you're gassed out, you just throw in the towel mentally. But then after a while, you start going, wait a minute, I'm not going to throw in the towel. Watch me recover. And then you recover. And you're like, oh, shit, I could go again. Then you attack again. And then you get exhausted and you freak out. And then you're like, wait a minute, I recovered. Then you keep going. Then after a while, when you get exhausted and you're completely done, you don't even think, you don't even panic. You're like really, really tired. And instead of going, fuck, I'm done, son, you're like really tired. You're like, dude, give me 20 seconds and I'm going to fuck you up. That then you just bypass. You just get so used to not freaking out over the exhaustion that you just keep pushing forward. And that's something that no one ever taught me. That's what real cardio is. I'm not saying I invented real cardio. I'm just saying I never knew what it was. Real cardio is, and like Frank Barca, he does swim sprints with 15-second rests. That's insane. So Frank Barca is training his body to recover in 15 seconds. I train my body to recover in 30 seconds. So you got to do that 20 times, once a week. That's what some guys do it twice a week. Lila, she never gets tired. And so what happens is you go out there and you compete. And when you get tired, you're like, you're fine. And you know you're never going to get tired. And that gives you so much confidence. I gassed out in the Hoyler fight at Metamoris a few times, like 3 or 4 times I gassed out. But I didn't freak out at all. I knew that I was going to recover. No one had to remind me. I was so used to recovering that I would be completely exhausted. And instead of throwing in the towel and going, fuck, I'm done, this guy's going to kill me, I'm like, all I got to do is just hold on, wait. It's going to come back. Wait for it. Here it comes. Boom. Now I'm ready to go again.
Okay, so you can feel yourself. You knew, all right, I'm gassed out, but I'm going to be fine.
Exactly.
What did you feel from him? It's like, could you feel his, because like when you're competing against somebody, you can feel their heart, you can feel their emotions, right? What did you feel from him in that regard?
I didn't feel like he was gassing. It was weird though, because I knew I was so confident that I was going to recover, that when I would gas, I would actually hold my breath so that he didn't know that I was currently gassing. I would control my breath. It was the weirdest thing, because when you hear someone else gassing, it gives you're smelling blood. It gives you power.
It's blood in the water, man.
You never want to. Like anytime I roll with anybody, like in the history of the world, anytime I've ever rolled with anybody and I felt like they were gassing, that gave me so much power. I'm like, there's no way this guy's going to beat me when he's gassed. There's no way. If you're gassed, there's no way you're going to beat me. It's impossible. So that's the kind of confidence I get. And that's, when you're watching the UFC and anytime someone gets hurt, you can see that the other guy becomes alive, and he can be totally dead.
I think that's a real thing, man. Like that's real. Like that's physiologically real. There's some kind of chemical reaction that you have to that.
You smell weakness, and then it gives you power. So instead of letting him smell that I was gassed, even though I knew this was just really temporary and I was going to come back, I didn't even want to give him the temporary power of him thinking that I was gassed. I would hold my breath when I was gassed. That's how much control I had of my breath. That's how much confidence I had in my cardio. If I didn't do those swim sprints, 1,000,000% he would have tapped me out. 1,000,000% he would have got me. Yeah. Or I would have been just so goddamn cautious and afraid of gassing that it would have been a boring fight. And I would have just held.
You would have been able to
I would have been people get cautious in competition a lot of times because of their cardio. They didn't do the right cardio and they know it. If you did the right cardio, man, and then in camp, those hour Shark Tanks, they were nothing. I was ready to, the waterboarding, shit. It was nothing. It was nothing. The waterboarding was nothing at the end of that camp. Those hour Shark Tanks, my arms would give up before my heart would. My limbs would give up before my heart would. I would say, dude, I would love to roll with you, but I can't even move my arms. My heart's fine. My breathing's fine, but my biceps couldn't hang with my heart. That's how I, and that was once a week torture yourself, 20 swim sprints once a week. And you're going to go into competition just like Lila. That's why she came out and started smoking. When she did the Abu Dhabi trials a couple years ago, it was her worst performance ever. She was just looked like she just did not belong out there. Then she got her cardio together. She started doing the swim sprints. She's a maniac with those swim sprints. She never gets tired in class. We put her through the ringer. She's never tired. She's like huffing and puffing, but she recovers. She can go forever. And that reflected when she went out there, EBI 12, when she got those 2 quick taps, she went out there and attacked because she knew she would not gas out. So when you know that you're not going to gas out and not recover, you go out there like a fucking banshee from hell.
It changes everything, right?
Oh, yeah. If you're not doing sprints, if you ain't doing sprints, forget about the sprints, forget about the cardio. Let's look at it like this. If you ain't training your body to recover in 30 seconds, you ain't going to do shit. You just got to train your body to recover in 30 seconds. And the only way to do that is you got to tell it over and over. Gas out, 30 seconds recovery. Gas out, 30 seconds recovery. Gas out, 30 seconds recovery. Your body will adapt and your body will start recovering from complete exhaustion in 30 seconds. So now you can sprint and give everything you have multiple times, 15 times in a match, instead of being cautious and then you finally gas out and then that's it and you're over and you're done. And hopefully you might get a second win, that old mythical, that second win, that's nonsense. Second win, that's bullshit. You should have 20 wins, not second win. There should be a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, all those wins. Not just if you have just a second win, that's not good enough second win. That's like some high school shit. That's like some elementary shit second win.
Dude, that's a knowledge bomb. You just went off.
I never knew what cardio was. I never knew until I no one told me. No one told me that you had, cardio can mean so many things. It's just keep it simple. You have to train your body to recover in 30 seconds. And the only way you're going to do that is sprinting 100%, resting 30 seconds, sprinting 100%, resting 30 seconds, sprinting, telling your body over and over, this is what I need. When you don't want your opponent to be that motherfucker that could attack you with reckless abandon fucking multiple times.
Yeah, I don't want that.
In a match. You don't want that guy. You want to be that guy. You want to be that guy.
It's true.
Remember
man.
that.
It's true. And like I'm like the laziest jiu-jitsu player ever. And that's a lot of my style that I've put together has been built on like what you were saying, man, I don't want to do the cardio. I just don't want to do it. I want to, lay and play and counter. And no, you're 100% right. And there's been times when I've gone out in competition and when I'm in shape, I'll go out and kill. But there's been times when I've gone out and gone, gotten super tired and then just coasted through the match, you know, like what you're talking about.
You didn't prepare properly.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Yep.
You didn't do your sprints. Are you doing your sprints? That's what you should tell. If you're a coach and you got some students fighting, it's like, when are you doing your sprints? What day? How are you doing them? Are you training your body to recover in 30 seconds? How are you doing that? Oh, you're jogging for 5 miles? Oh, I jogged 8 miles. I went running. Ugh, you didn't train. Recover.
I don't know if I lost him or not, but oh, there you are. What do you think's going on with because I have a theory regarding this, but what do you think's going on with a guy like, you know, Mike Tyson used to say he would get up at 4:30 in the morning and hit the road. So, but my belief is that was more of a mental thing, you know, like he knows he's up working when everybody else is still sleeping, rather than an actual cardio thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Maybe, you know, maybe you could do, maybe if you're super disciplined and you're a soldier, you can go jogging and then sprint for 30 seconds and then jog for 30 seconds. Sprint for 30 seconds and jog for 30 seconds. So you could do it that way too. I mean, but like I said, the swimming ensures that your breathing is perfect in chaotic situations.
Beautiful, man. Coach, this was awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, man.
Man,
thank you.
I'm sorry I couldn't get the Instagram live thing to work. I
Well,
want
this
to
is
figure
good
that
enough.
out. Yeah, this was
good enough.
good. It was good, but we ended up, I think we had like 90 at a time watching this, which was really good, like 90 people at a time. But this is the kind of stuff that people need to hear, you know. And the Instagram live, if we could both go live on Instagram, if we can figure that out,
one day
we're gonna do it. I'm gonna pin you down, and we're gonna do it again in a couple of days. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna research and figure out what's up, because like when you just jumped live on your Instagram just a second ago, just for that brief second, there was like 300 people like that.
Okay.
So we're gonna figure it out.
All right,
man.
All right, dude.
We may have a weekly show. I don't know. Hey, thanks for everything. And
hey, thank you.
I appreciate you, man. I know
I appreciate you too, man. I love you, man.
I love you too, Coach. Just to call me and interrupted it. Way to go, Jay Watkins. I'll talk to you soon, Coach.